Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am SidAlpha. Now, I know that Monday night is not on my schedule for doing videos, but I ran into an interesting conundrum today, and it made me decide that I did actually want to talk with you guys about this because it is a topic that's fairly important and near and dear to my heart. Now, fair warning, this is in regards to mental health. So if anyone does not feel comfortable discussing this or hearing about any of this, then please feel free to skip out on the rest of this video. There won't be any amusing anecdotes or anything super lighthearted, and is definitely not my normal style format of videos. So if you're not feeling comfortable with that, do feel free to just give it a pass, okay? I won't hold it against you. It's perfectly fine. But I wanted to come here because on the Winter's Edge Discord chat today, as well as coworkers at work and a couple of friends after work, the issue of mental health and how people cope with it seemed to have been brought up just literally fucking everywhere. And I thought it was really weird considering the timing of everything else over the course of this past week, because it's been, for those of you who aren't aware, one of my dad's best friends passed away from cancer last week, and he was, I did think of him as basically an uncle, because he was very, very close friends with my father. And in addition to that, there were some other things that went on in my personal life in regards to women or lack thereof. And I also found out that I had been treating some of my fellow cast members on Winter's Edge not as well as I should, and I wasn't even aware of it, which goes to show how bad I am with interpersonal relations. And so yeah, that made me feel like a complete and utter douche, and I'm not sure if I can repair those relationships or not. I will, of course, try, but I'm worried that it may be damage done at this point, which, yeah, I have no excuse. I'm definitely not a perfect person, and I do make mistakes, and usually when I fuck up in a big way, and this was apparently a monumental fuck up that had been apparently ongoing. So, and for some reason, I was just completely blind to it until it was shoved in my face and I was made to look at it. But that's neither here nor there. I will do my best to make amends as far as that goes, and that shouldn't have any bearing on this video, except that it does make me feel pretty down. I mean, that's one thing that I can't stand, is making someone feel bad. Because of a lot of personal reasons, I hate the idea of... It's one thing I can't ever get over, is the idea of someone disliking me because of something that I did. Nothing will drive me up the wall quicker. But that's, the reason why I decided to actually talk about this is because a lot of this also brought up the fact that, this level 5 achieved t-shirt, which I'm not sure you guys can actually read or not, we'll find out, is one of the things that my bosses got me for, because I was also celebrating 5 years at work this last week, which is an odd combination of things. But it brought back to memory what I was like shortly before working for X-Babylon. Actually, I finally started getting out of my funk probably about 6 months before I started working there. And so what had happened was I was actually unemployed for a year and a half. A full year and a half. It was right during the biggest part of the Depression, and no one was hiring, and the only job that I was qualified for, nobody would hire me for that because I was overqualified, and I even had a few people tell me they couldn't hire me because I was more qualified to do their job than they were. So I was stuck living in a trailer on my parents' property, completely broke, jobless, unable to get around, unable to drive, out in the middle, 15 miles out of town. So it's not like you could walk anywhere, really. It's like a 4-hour walk just to get to town. And so I would get taken to the store once a week by my folks so I could get groceries and things like that. And so I just took to buying massive quantities of alcohol with my unemployment that I would be able to drink, because I had nothing else to do but sit there and drink and play video games. And the reason why I did that is because I literally had nothing else to do. No one was hiring. There were virtually no jobs available, and for every job that was available, there were 50 plus applicants for each. It was a fucking nightmare. So I gave up. I gave up on myself, and I gave up on the world for a while. And the only thing, and of course I drank massive, massive quantities of alcohol, which only served to make things worse. And I ended up getting into a depression spiral over the course of that first year. And the only thing that kept me going, literally the only thing that kept me going was video games. They were the only thing that kept me grounded. And of course I gravitated more towards the storyline video games, and there was Star Wars: The Old Republic as well, which I played heavily, and that was the only interaction I had with other people. And not only that was it other people, it was like-minded people. Plus, video games, they give you a sense of accomplishment, which subconsciously I desperately craved, because my life was absolute shit. I was starting over from square one, or in my early 30s, and I was having to start over like I was an 18-year-old, fresh out of mom and dad's. Not even that much. I had less, because everything I'd bought for my girlfriend, and we broke up, and then of course she kept everything that was hers because I bought her everything, and I had nothing at all. Nothing. But I was able to interact with like-minded individuals online and play video games that fed me a sense of accomplishment. And that was actually when I finally actually started playing games to challenge myself. And I didn't play them just for the story or something like that. I actually tried to improve myself through game mechanics and things like that. And that's how I actually ended up becoming exceptionally good at StarCraft 2 for a while. I was actually ranked. I'd even gotten invited to a few tournaments. I'm too old to keep up with the young pros and things like that, because my reflexes just were not there. But I was damn good for a while. I was Masters League there for a little bit. Believe it or not, I was actually Masters League. But it's one of those things where, if it had not been for video games, I don't think I would have survived it. I really don't. I mean, because there was a short point in time where literally the only thing I had to look forward to for months on end was the games and being able to interact with the people online. And that's a very dangerous situation to be in. Of course, I'm doing much better now. I'm glad that things turned around for me, and I'm actually doing not too bad for myself. But there was a while where I just thought that was completely fucking impossible. And I understand that there are probably a lot of other people out there in the world that probably do feel that way. And so that's why, video games actually did really help me. And that's, I always enjoyed video games, but gaming didn't actually become a passion of mine until then. And it's one of those things where, without that impetus, I probably never would have started up a YouTube channel, even though I wanted to well before then. But now games are a passion of mine. They really are. And so I want to do my best to, breed awareness within the gaming community and help making the gaming community a better place, and hopefully introduce people to more better games and be able to introduce more people to gaming, because it helped me a lot. It's helped several people, it really has. And it's one of those things where I aside from the games, I handled my own depression issues. Oh God, I realized I've been talking about this. The YouTube is so gonna demonetize this shit so fast. Oh well, fuck it, so be it. But it's one of those things where, I wish that more people were able to get as much out of games as I've been able to get out of them. I wish that, I don't wish that you ended up starting in the state that I did. But, it's one of those things where, I do feel it necessary, after hearing all the conversations today and reading them and everything like that, that to actually talk a little bit about how video games helped me and actually helped to create this channel because of that. And to talk to any of you directly who might be feeling depression, or might be feeling alone, or might be feeling like you have to start over and it feels helpless and hopeless and pointless and terrible and terrifying and awful, and it may feel like all of those things wrapped up into 1 nanosecond worth of emotion, but it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. You should have family out there who can help you. If you don't, then you should have friends out there who can help you. If you don't, there are people who literally went to school to be able to help you. So please don't ever feel like anyone would ever look down on you or think of you as less of a person if you need help, if you need a helping hand, if you need anyone to talk to. Because there will be people there. Hell, I'm even here, that's one thing that, I've always asked people to try and limit my SidAlpha at SidAlpha.com email address to just business things only. But, hell, if you guys are the lifeblood of my channel. If you feel the need to reach out to me for any reason whatsoever, and you feel it's a legitimate need, you can use it, It's there. I'm not saying that I want to become anyone's counselor, but, if you guys need to reach out to me for anything at all, just use it, And, if you have a family member you can reach out to if you're having issues, reach out to them. If not, if you have a friend, reach out to them. If not, find a psychologist. As I know that sounds scary, and it might even take a while to find the right fit, but talking to anyone, is better than the alternative. Always is. It's better than taking the risk of muddling through like I did. Because that was a horrible, horrible risk. Because mental health and dealing with depression and things like that is not something to fuck around with at all. Okay? It's dangerous. And, it's one of those things where I know this is going to be a real downer of a video and everything, and there's definitely not much gaming content here, but it's one of those things that I can't feel strongly enough about this, and I can't. And, if I could help even just one person, then it's all worthwhile. I've always said that. If I could help one person on my channel, then it makes the whole thing worthwhile. And this is no different. I've never cared about getting big or getting rich or getting famous or anything like that. It would be nice, but at the end of the day, that's not what's important. It's not. So, yeah, if you're suffering from any of this, please, please do seek help. I should have, and I didn't. And that was the wrong decision to make. And it almost went very badly for me. I really don't want to see it happen to any of you.